Okay. Good morning, everyone. So today again we are meeting for the next class. Yesterday we have done, different kinds of forest applications using different kinds of geospatial tools. Now, with the help of these tools, how we can go for the forest resource information system, making of that, and then how we can go for the forest management information system. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. So here we will be studying different parameters which are taken into consideration for the forest research information system. And then we are also going to study the application which are there in different habitat suitability mapping with their parameters. So with the help of different case studies we will be seeing these kind of things. So let's discuss what is forest resource information system. So when we are talking about the forest resource information system, and it is a system where we are trying to incorporate different data sets which are related to uh, the various parameters of forest layers, like uh, yes, like the different kinds of forest layers which are helpful in different plannings, implementation and monitoring of different forest objectives. So the forest resource information system is envisaged as an integrated system which will be used to support any kind of planning, implementations of different layers, and monitoring of different objectives which are related to different kinds of forest management related activities. So forest resource information system, basically it focuses on the integrated approach where we used to have a sort of tool where the plannings, implementations of those plannings, and different kinds of monitoring which are based on different objectives which are actually related to the different management related activities is considered. The Forest Management Information System, which is also called as FMIS, can be used for the strategic, tactical, and operational planning and implementations, and yes, of course, the control in and across the administrative units of the different levels of organizational hierarchies. Okay, so this forest information system, basically it has different kinds of strategical planning under it, tactical planning under it, and different kinds of operational plannings which are helpful in different administrative levels at different hierarchical structures of their ranking. Okay, so as we know that we have different hierarchical structures starting from a forest guard to PCCF level, and on the other hand, if you see in case of different ministries, especially MOEF, which is basically deals with this forest resources. There also we have different ministers, different level of politicians who are also into the levels where we need to go for different legal and planning for different management activities related to the development of these forest resources. So these kind of systems, they help in those kind of activities beside the database and the models required to support the decision making in many programs of the department. Then the forest resource information system also has the ability to maintain the current forest inventories and generate the maps which are spatially oriented data. Okay, so based on different layers or based on the different parameters, this forest resource information system, it also helps us in updating and managing different inventories related to the forest, and also generating the spatial distributed maps of those inventories which are related to the forest working plan maps, forest infrastructure mapping, forest vegetation related inventories, that what is the density and what are the different species in that particular forested area, and then yes, of course, the topographical features, and finally the customization based on the requirement. Now for example, for some planning we need to know about the species only, in some planning we need to about the biomass only, in some plannings we need to know about the density of the forests. So as per the need of a particular department, we can go for the customization of the data also, if we have a proper forest resource information system. Then while we are creating these kind of forest information system, now we have taken a case study of JNK, where different mappings has been done for the complete JNK, where we have the demarcations of at different division level, then followed by the ranges, followed by the compartments, and for each compartment we have the vegetation map done, aspect, slope in case of this case study which we have taken up, then images of the complete forest divisions, then the digital elevation models, and then the other topographical and other parameters which are helpful in different kinds of forest planning. Then this is the ranges demarcation. You can see here different forest ranges are being demarcated or shown. In case of this, the divisions were shown. Is you can see here, these are demarcating the different forest division: Marwa, Kishtwar, okay, Badarwa, okay, and then in this case, under divisions we have the demarcation of different ranges. Now in this you can see the in each division followed by ranges, you have the demarcation of the different compartment as per the codings available in the forest department. That is also being done. So these kind of activities at the initial level one has to do while we are talking about the forest information system. Okay, so now we can have the individual compartment wise information. We can, if we like, in our initial study, when while we were talking about this forest resource information system, we have stated that it also helps in the customization based requirement. So if suppose somebody needs only a compartment which is maybe 0 0 36 compartment they need, so we will see which one this compartment is 0 0 36, and then we can clip it, and we can have complete information about the forest type, land use, slope, aspect, elevation about this particular compartment. If somebody suppose wants that I want a complete forest range of this quasi gond, so then they can extract the information. So under this range all the compartments can be derived. Okay, so if we want information for complete Kishtwar forest division, then that also can be. So as per the requirement we can go for the extraction of data sets based on somebody's requirements. Okay, so for the first level, we need to go for the demarcation of different administrative boundaries under the forest administration. Then we can also have the land use land cover map for the complete state, in case of construction of any forest management system in a block level or in a range level or in a division level. So complete information about the land use land cover has to be plotted over that particular area. And then suppose from that you want only a compartment, that can be extracted out for the uh, area which you ever you need out of that forest division. So after that, the information system, it also helps us. For example, I want for this range which is shown in cyan color. So I have selected for this range. I have clicked on this polygon, and then I will have the complete information like this. Okay, you can see its shape is like polygon. Then this is the complete spatial information of the uh, particular compartment of this. Okay, so from here, this drop down, I can select for compartment. If I will click for compartments, here all the compartment boundary will be highlighted. If I will click for the range will appear. So whatever the need, I will select that, and I will be getting the complete information about that. Then this is the overlaid of the compartment over the satellite image. Okay, so each and every compartment is being plotted over here. Now whatever thing you want to highlight, you have to click that. So right now, because image is highlighted and the dam and white hillshade, they are below this. So if I will uncheck it, then I can able to see all those things. Now this is all the compartment. They are overlaid with the compartments file, and then we can have each and every compartment's idea about their you know elevation. Okay, then this is with the slope, we have overlaid all the compartments. Now for each and every compartment, we can have an idea about the slope also. Okay, so we, based on these activities, we can have rough idea about a particular slope, that a particular compartment, that what kind of forest. Suppose I'm clicking on this, so this may have very degraded sort of forest. But if you see here in this, so here we have dense sort of forest. Okay, so based on this elevation or dam, I can see that these are the areas which are having very plain sort of uh, slope, and wherever the green or sky blue or these kind of colors are there, they are denoting the high elevated areas. So we can have an idea about the distribution of forest, or rough idea about the things. Then about the aspect also, we can have an idea about the humidity content, the moisture content, as the south is the slope which is having the direct rays of the sun on that direction. So we can have an idea that in southern parts we have more dry types of forest, or there are more chances or of forest fires. So these kind of analysis we can see based on this. Then slope also, in higher slopes there will be challenge to get into, because due to high slopes there may be chances of inaccessibilities of different things. Okay, so after that we can also have infrastructure develop, demarcation of the different wildlife, different nature parks, different national parks. Okay, all those kind of things can be plotted over the different compartments or different ranges or different divisions. Okay, so here we have tried to tell about the different administrative areas. Okay, in particularly Dachigam National Park. Okay, so these are the different areas where we have the administrations set up are there. Maybe they are the headquarters of different ranges or different compartments are being set up here. Okay, so different administrative boundaries or administrative officers, they are sitting in different parts of here. Okay, that now these administrations, they include the forest rest house, enclosures of animals, then forest checkposts, then forest bridges, then the forest timbers depots, then the forest nurseries. Okay, so while I will be clicking or selecting this particular point, I will be getting information about this point. So what this so I have we have matlab, through this case study we have also tried to have an information about the infrastructures in the Dachigam National Park of Jain. Okay, then the multiple layers, they are being plotted over this. So we have opened the different vegetation layer along with the hillshade in that particular area, along with the drainage network. So we can have an idea about the various drainage orders, various vegetation types in different forest divisions of the area. So we can have the overlay of different multiple layers. Then this is a vegetation map where the types of forest in particularly this Dachigam National Park were demarcated. Okay, so these are the major types the authors, they have tried to demarcate. And then this is a vegetation of this park. This is a calorific values of the vegetation. Okay, so they are very high in case of this fir and cal forest. Okay, and this is the values. So this map is showing different values of vegetation. And then this is a slope map of the area. Okay, this is a elevation. This is the slope map. This is aspect map of the area. Okay, and then this is a proximity analysis of different infrastructures, that different points, what proximity of their existence from a particular distance. Then this is a road proximity analysis. Okay, this is fire vulnerability map of this Dachigam Park, which we have calculated using these many parameters: slope, aspect, elevation. If you go through your forest fire risk of forest fire paper, then we have taken all these parameters as an input of forest fire, as they play an important role for any kind of fire existence or the fire risk. So this is a risk in the case study they have calculated. and this risk can be categorized in four classes, where the dark maroon color, it is showing the high risk, and the green color, it is showing the lowest risk. This is a aerial statistics of, so total area is 164 square kilometer in case of this Dachigan National Park, and out of that, around 70% area of the total area is under very high to high risk, and rest area is medium to low. Okay, so that's why it is very important to take care in case of fire season, to take care. And so different kind of plannings can be done into these areas. Okay, in these high risk prone areas, in these very high risk prone areas, and moderate also. Okay. So here, the based on this case study, they have also tried to overlay the different incidents of forest fire from 2001 to 2016, which are based on the modest fire data for the this particular area, where the fire has been occurred in these many years. So from modest data, that data has been extracted, and they have been plotted over the areas of different intensities. So if you see this blue dots, they are under very high risk prone areas. Okay, if you see this black dots, they are the fire incidents which are in the high risk prone areas, and the yellow ones, they are in the high risk prone areas. So through these colors of points, we can identify that blue colors points, wherever they are falling, they are into high risk prone, very high risk prone areas zone. So these locations, since they have already reported the fire incidents, so if we are getting this as a high risk prone area, so we can see that maximum fire cases has been occurred. But you see here, there are no recorded cases of fire. So it doesn't mean that we can ignore that areas. Okay, so we need to go for the planning, because you don't know if you have stopped taking care of these areas. So if there will be a fire, so there will be very high intensity of fires, because their accessibility, their forest type, they are supporting with the very high risk prone areas. So we need to be careful in these areas also. So we can identify that in these areas there are, yes, of course, many cases of fires. Okay, so you can also quantify your datas or your maps based on these kind of activities, and you can quantify your study based on the incidents which took place in the previous eras. Now this is the fire locations from 2005 to 16. Okay, so you see these fire incidents were controlled as compared to the incidents in the previous map. Okay, so these are the different applications of these forest information systems. So if we have the mapping done as per the hierarchy of fire risk, and the incidents plotted over there, wherever the fire incidents have been took place, so we can quantify, and we can go for the further planning for controlling the fires into those areas. Clear? Then we have GIS and remote sensing for wildlife. So when we are talking about the remote sensing and GIS for wildlife, We have, first thing which we can perform, the monitoring of vegetation status of national parks and sanctuaries. 100 national parks and 500 wildlife sanctuaries, which consist of 5% of protected land. Okay, so we first thing which we can plan with the help of GIS and remote sensing, in case of wildlife vegetation status, which is again required for the other activities into the forest activities also. Then we can go for the wildlife habitat mapping, we can go for the eco-sensitive donations, we can go for the wildlife census, we can also plan for the habitat suitability index, because in nowadays in many studies, you will be finding that there is a human or habitat conflict related cases are coming up because of the encroachment of human um, into the habitat areas of different species. So we can go for the suitability index, and we can, on the same hand, we are also finding that the various species, they are becoming endangered species because of a continuous loss of those species in two different forested areas. So we need to take care of those wildlife, so that they can be protected, and we can also plan for their suitability, habitat suitability mapping, in case we have to go for any kind of land use change as far as the forest is concerned. Then carrying capacity analysis, then remote sensing in national park and wildlife sanctuary. It also helps in different kinds of management plan preparations for different wildlife and national parks. And finally, the monitoring of corridors for the wildlife migration. Okay, so these are the different activities which we can plan with the help of remote sensing and GIS in better way. Okay, in which the monitoring of vegetation status is main, wildlife habitat mapping is again, then eco-sensitive zonation mapping, the monitoring of different corridors of wildlife migrations, their management plan preparations, carrying capacity analysis, and habitat suitability mapping. Okay, so then we can also go for the eco-sensitive zonations. How we can go for that? We can map different wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and etc. Now, through this case studies, this eco-sensitive areas and their boundaries have been demarcated. Okay, so these are the different eco-sensitive areas. Mapping has been done, and they has been categorized in eco-sensitive area 1 and 2. Okay, then a 3 kilometer buffer zonation has been created to calculate the sensitivity in and around these eco-sensitive zones. Okay, so 3 kilometer buffer zonation has been performed on the basis of multiple buffers. Okay, then for each buffer, has been created around 0.5 kilometer buffer zone in and around of this Dachigem National Park. Okay, then the land use land cover class was plotted or extracted for each and every buffer, and then the different land use land cover classes were calculated for each buffer. Okay, you see here, for this buffer, the first buffer, the different land use land cover classes are found, which includes the pasture land, the closed forest, the dense scrub, the open forest, open scrub, stony waste, water bodies, and the Dachigam National Park boundary along with that. Then in the study, the land use land cover was calculated for a zero point 0.5 kilometer buffer of in and around the park. Okay, so this is the area statistics of that uh, you know uh, uh, park, and this is the most sensitive area. The far the buffer, the sensitivity will be decreasing. So these are the different alpine land use land cover of that zero point 0.5 kilometer buffer, where in the total buffer, 27% area falls under the open forest, and 31% area, which is maximum, falls under the alpine pastures. Then barren land, only 0%. So these are the different land use land cover in this buffer. Then the wildlife habitat mapping can also be done. For that, this methodology in the case study has been followed, where the satellite data, so Survey of India topological sheets, and the DEM data of 30-meter resolution of ester has been used. From satellite data, the vegetation map was derived. Survey of India sheets were used for the road and drainage map creation. And from ester data, we have tried to extract the information with topographical information, having the slope, elevation, and aspect. Then, by clubbing all these data, the correlation was, calculated based on the phytogenetic studies of trees and shrubs and herbs, where the sample plot has been taken for different sizes, and then correlation of that has been done on the basis of the feeding sites, bedding sites, seating sites, urination sites, browsing sites has been taken. Then the interpolation of these things has been done, and based on that, we have calculated the habitat use map. Okay, then after this, the FCC was used for the demarcation of this boundary of the park, and then this is the park. Okay, and different different drainage networks in the park, different roads, different tracking roads of the park has been demarcated. Then this is a road map, where we the in the case studies, metal and metal tracking packs of A and B category has been categorized. Then the vegetation maps, the complete vegetation was calculated, where the settlement, agriculture, different types of forest, water bodies, snow areas has been demarcated. Then this is the points depicting the whole Hangul sign points in the Dachingam National Park, where the summer signs of the point and the winter size of the Hangul or sign points has been demarcated. So red, they are showing the signs in the summer season, and the green one, they are showing the uh, this thing signs in the winter season. So you can see in half or maybe 70% they falls under in the half of the image, and then on the left hand side you will find that in some winters they have their existence. Okay, then this is a elevation map of the Dachingam National Park. Okay, so the data of their point existence has been plotted over this. So you can see that around in summers, their existence is between 28 to 4800 4400 meters of elevation, but in winters their existence, the signs they exist in 1500 to you can say 2500 meters in the winters. Okay, so while there is a summer, they these hungurs, the signs of their existence, they can be in higher elevation areas. In winters, their signs you will find in the lower elevated areas of that Chingam National Park. Now this is aspect again, in the winters, they have their existence in a particular direction, where you will find east, okay, southeast, south, and southwest. So these are the sites of sun facing, whereas in north, okay, in northwest, in northeast, and in west, they will be in summer seasons, as they are the shady areas as far as the aspects are concerned. So after this is a slope map, um, where we have a distribution of mixed kind of things. In lower slopes, they have more existence during summers, and in winters, mostly they are on the little bit higher sloping areas. But generally you will find in the you know normal slopy areas they will be founding. Then in winter habitat, uh, uh, this is the boundary and the high and low suitability index, if you see. So in winters they would prefers to stay in these areas, and in summers into the right hand side areas, okay, which is based on the different factors or parameters which we have taken into consideration, which includes the slope aspect, elevation, land use, land cover, etc. Okay, so my aim is to show you this kind of studies, that you can also opt for your dissertations and the thesis formation, these kind of problems into different areas. This is a statistics as per the habitats in winter and summer, as per their vegetation classification in summers and winters. Okay, so these kind of analysis you can also go for with the help of different GIS tools, techniques, and overlaying of different layers. So these are the favorable land use, land covers for Hangul in Kashmir Valley. These are the favorable sites as per the elevations are concerned for this Hangul in Kashmir Valley, and these are the, so these kind of studies we can also opt for the different areas of maybe JNK, Himachal, Northeast, etc., or some other areas. So mainly you need to focus on the parameters, on the techniques, how they are being useful for these kind of habitat suitability maps. Now, the settlements and roads as bottleneck in Hangul habitats, not only in Hangul habitat, but in any kind of habitats, these settlements and roads, they act like a bottleneck. Okay, so you see here the encroachment of these settlements are coming day by day into these forested areas, and because of this, maybe they are directly or indirectly becoming an hindrance for the habitat or for the generation or the breeding or the wildlife, uh, you know um, what you can call wildlife is being targeted in terms of their existence and all those kind of things. So we need to take care that their habitats or corridors, they are not being disturbed by these kind of activities into those forested areas. Then potential hangul corridor in Kashmir valleys. Now these are the here we are trying to tell out the different uh, sites which are having the potential for the corridors. Okay, so these kind of studies you can also opt for your studies. Okay, so these are the different elevations and the existence of these different kinds of points. Okay, so these kind of studies can also be opt for different habitat suitability and different kinds of mapping. Here you can see different habitats, different hunger sign points, and their existing protected areas, and then the gauze boundaries are being plotted over the satellite image of the Dachingam National Park. Okay, so these are the different habitations, okay, which are there existing in the park, and this is the hangul sign points. Okay, so we have to protect these areas from different kinds of conflicts of human and different wildlife. So there are different stages on which different kinds of studies related to their wildlife potential zone mapping is being studied. And then here in first stage you can see that different kinds of literature sources has been taken into consideration regarding the images, regarding the suitable dam, precipitation data, soil mapping, literature sources related to the precipitation data, climatic data, watershed analysis, as all these things are important for any kind of zonations. Then, based on these data sets, land use, digital elevation models, rainfall erosion, soil erosion, threshold, flow accumulation, and then the precipitation, reference evaporation, dam, soil groups, land use, land cover classification, boundaries of Kashmir valleys, climatic zone tables, and other biological tables or biophysical parameters has been taken into consideration. And based on these parameters, in the case study, the seasonal water yield model was created, and the sediment delivery of the model has been created. And based on that, again, this in stage four, the socio-economic data was also incorporated with this, and finally, as a result, the sedimentation retention service or provision from the household, these kind of studies has been done. Then the sediment retention service provision from the presence of reservoir downstream, dry season based flow service provision, flood reduction service provision, these kind of things has been calculated. For annual soil loss, this is the formula, the Russell equation has been followed. Uh, Now, this is the elevation map of the Kashmir Valley, where the Jhelum Basin was taken into consideration. Now, these are the different sub basins So this kind of studies can also be opted for the calculation of different kinds of analysis. So this is the mean annual precipitation map, where you can see from 2081 millimeter, sorry, 281 millimeter to 1346 millimeter rainfall was observed in this Kashmir Valley. Okay, so due to rainfall, the erosionivity index has been calculated, where MGM hectare. This has been calculated. Now you can see this is maximum in the areas where you have red color, and minimum in these areas. Okay, so then we have the soil texture map in the Kashmir Valley. So this is the different types of soil in Jhelum Basin. Soil erosion ability map also has been calculated. So the soil erosion has been found as red color maximum, and the minimum as sky blue color. Then land use land cover map of Kashmir Valley calculated. Then sediment export map of Kashmir Valley has been calculated. Sediment export map also has been calculated. Sediment retention map. So all these maps which shows the different kinds of erosion related to the sediment, related to the water retention, related to the other losses, has been calculated based on the base maps of those. Okay, so these kind of studies can be initiated for any kind of forested areas. I have shown you a detailed case study of Kashmir Valley, taken up by the few departments of the JNK government. And this the theme or the aim to tell you about this is to make you aware that what kind of studies has been taken up by the different departments for the different kinds of forest studies. Okay, so I hope I have justified my topic by telling you these case studies. And I hope you will be performing these kind of methods, or these kind of techniques in your studies with more enhanced way for different areas of the country, so that your studies can be implemented to go for the conservation of these forested areas, along with the various applications like wildlife habitat suitability mapping, or forest fire risks mapping, so that the damage to different forest species, different forest resources can be managed. So with this, I'll be ending to my today's talk, and you all can appear for your quiz through your LMS. Thank you very much.